Hello, and this is another story time episode. Today we are covering the topic of cheating. Now, if you have known in my previous videos, I have mentioned being cheated before. Um, I've been cheated on two of my relationships, and it is one thing that I do not tolerate at all. So I got cheated on my very first girlfriend, and I got cheated on my third girlfriend. So let's get into the story. So first story is my very first girlfriend. We met when I was in university, and I didn't meet her directly. I met her through her friend because I was in a club. I was kind of tipsy. I went up to her friend because I thought her friend was cute. Her friend had a boyfriend. We gave each other's contacts, and then she gave my contact to that girl, which that girl texted me first, and I was being all like, hey, I don't know you. Like, I was being very stuck up. And then I don't know why, I was just like, maybe I should talk to her after like 2 weeks. So I talked to her a bit just because I felt like it. I was like, maybe I should talk to her. And then one thing led to another. We met, we started dating. And the craziest thing about our story is at the time, I thought I was so cool in university. I was in the dance club because I liked to dance. And the president of the dance club was her ex-fling. Now, we didn't know this until she told me that, oh yeah, we used to have a thing going on, but it was just like 2-3 months. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, but I didn't really bother anything, like I didn't really care about it because it was a past. But then after the president of I will call her X, after X knew, yeah, she was a masculine lesbian. After X knew, she was just like giving me hell, like treating me like crap, and then like giving me hell. And then she would be like, she would start texting my girlfriend at the time, inviting her to go do this and that. And my girlfriend and X had a girlfriend at the time as well. And she kept trying to invite my girlfriend to go out to the bar to drink, blah, blah, blah. And then there's this one time, which I don't know why my ex-girlfriend at the time, she was upset with me because she thought she just had random thoughts and then got upset with me, and I didn't even know what was going on because I didn't do anything. She texted X, and then X was just like, where are you? I'm gonna go pick you up. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, I'm dating you, and you have a girlfriend, so why are you gonna come to see my, at the time, current girlfriend? So that was already a big red flag. A few years along the lines, past the relationship, she stopped talking to X, and X kind of stopped bothering me. And then 1 year passed through our relationship, and I see all her, like, she would constantly try to make me jealous, and she would be like, if I talk to this person, if I talk to that person, like she would purposely like leave her messages open for me to read, and it was just like kind of flirty text to other people, but it was just to make me jealous. And she was kind of a narcissist, she kind of enjoyed seeing me jealous. And then I would confront her about it, and she would just gaslight me and be like, you're thinking too much, blah blah blah. And I was like, fine, whatever. We had lots of arguments. I'm not going to keep this long because there has been a lot of drama with her. And then flash to she started working, and she couldn't get work, and she was so upset that she couldn't get work. And she had this ongoing issue where I don't know why, but maybe I don't know, but she would like always threaten me that she would go kill herself. And I know, like, she should get help for mental health, like legitimately saying. But at that time, then when she couldn't find work, she was so stressed out. She was like telling me she wanted to kill herself. So I made a resume for her. I applied at a hotel because I have connections to hotel at the time, because my sister works in the hotel industry, and I got her a job. She was very thankful for it, so I was fine with that. And then so she started working, and her workplace environment wasn't great because all her friends at the time in that workplace environment all had significant others and all cheated on them. they would always go to the bar, they always go to the club, they invite her to the club. I would have to go pick her up at like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, then to have class in university again at 8 a.m. in the morning. And she was starting to be like, I think I need to get my own workplace. I need to get my own apartment now. I don't know why, but she had all these red flags going for me. But because at the time, because I loved her so much, I was just like, okay, fine. Like, at the time I kind of understood, because where I lived was very, very, very far from her workplace. I would have to drive almost an hour in the morning to get her to work. So I kind of understood that in a way. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just logistically speaking, it's easier for her to travel. So she got her own workplace, and I would go visit her sometimes. She would come back and visit me sometimes. And then there was this one time where she came back from the club, and her male coworker, drove her home. And she was just like, she was drunk, okay? And then she locked herself in the toilet, started talking to him, like, and I confronted her about it. I was like, dude, what the hell? And she was like, you're thinking too much. We're just really good friends. We're like, he's just really, like, we're really close. And at the time, I chose to deny everything. I didn't even want to, I just completely, like, was just like, no, I need to believe her. Maybe I'm going crazy. And when we both had a day off together, she was texting all these other, like, 2 or 3 guys. And like, I read the text messages. I saw them, and I confronted her about it. And then she admitted that she was being flirty with them, but she didn't think anything of it, and she apologized. I was upset. She was crying. She was upset. And I just like, okay, fine, I forgive you. Just don't do it again. I'm such an idiot. Like, oh my God. Then it was the Christmas at that time, and I went back I went back overseas to stay with my dad for 2 weeks, and I was just like, I was going crazy, because like the anxiety and just being upset with her just not replying and everything. Like, I remember, like, before I go to the story, I remember I went to her place one day, and there was 2 toothbrushes, there was men's face wash and everything, and I confronted her about it, and she's like, oh, maybe it was just the old tenant, yeah, they didn't remove it yet, so it's not mine. And I was just like, I don't know why in my stupid brain at the time I chose to believe her, okay, even though it was so obvious she was sleeping with someone else, okay. But anyway, flash forward to me going to the Christmas party, going to celebrate Christmas with my dad. She barely texted me. She was like slow, low-key ghosting me, and my complete limit was she, at the time, like, when I was going back on my flight, I texted her. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be back. And then for me, I was just like, if she doesn't respond to my text message, like, have a safe flight or whatever, by today, I'm gonna cut it off with her. And as soon as the plane landed back in Thailand, no text message, no read, no nothing, I did quite a long and sweet message, and I just said, it wasn't too long, but it was, to summarize, I said, I know you cheated on me. It's been a fun ride with you. I forgive you for what you do. Let's break up. And I think she had separation anxiety at the time, and she's just like, she was upset, and she's like, I'm really sorry. But she admitted to cheating, and she said, I'm really sorry. I didn't want it to end this way, and thank you so much for you too, blah, blah, blah. And then we split ways. And a week later, she said, I really miss you. I still want to be with you. And I gave her a second chance. Like, oh my God. So we were back together, and during this time, again, when we were back together, she was trying to tell me, oh, this chef who's working at my workplace, and the chef was also a masculine lesbian, was like buying snacks, buying desserts for her, and she would bring it home. She'd be like, look, like this, and I just didn't respond, and I was like, oh, okay, that's great. And then there's one time she's like, oh, do you know, like, that chef was waiting for me, like, right in front of, like, she was waiting for me right in front of the door just to flirt with me. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And my ex cried. Like, she cried, and I was like, why are you crying? She was like, because I wasn't jealous. She was, because it looks like you don't care about me anymore, like, someone else is flirting with me, and you just, like, you don't have a reaction. And I was like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, do you want me to get jealous? And then she just kept quiet. That was that. It was over. And then Flash forward 2 weeks after that incident, she said like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go on a trip with my friends, and she did something really stupid. She was like, I don't know, like my Instagram, like can I see? And then she actually deleted me. She's like, I don't know, like my Instagram's not working. And then she re-added me, and then she deleted me again. She's like, there was something wrong with her Instagram. I'm not stupid. My friends have her on Instagram as well. She said she was out on a trip with her friends where she was actually posting photos of her and her new boyfriend going on a trip. Now, prior to going on this trip with her friends, she said, can she borrow some money? I lent her some money, and she took my money to go on a trip with her new boyfriend whilst cheating on me. I saw the pictures. My friends, I love you guys, they screen captured it. They sent it back to me. I sent her the pictures. I said, give me back my money. Transfer me back my money. We are over. Goodbye. And she's just like, okay, fine. And then all her stuff was still in my room. Half of her stuff, because she didn't unpack, like she didn't take all her stuff to her new place yet. So I put everything in a trash bag. I put all of it into her car, and she's just, I need to get my stuff back. And I was like, no worries. I put the car keys. They're at the juristic person's office. You go pick it up there, take your car. And she was just like, what about my computer? I was just like, I don't know. I don't care. You go find it. It's probably somewhere in that bag, but I don't really give a damn. And actually what ended up happening was I took her computer and I sold it. Extra money for me, I don't care. And yeah, that's how we broke up. And from that cheating experience, it completely shook my life. I do not tolerate cheating. I hate people who cheat. Anyone who cheats, I will tell their significant other, okay? Cheating is a crappy thing to do, okay? That is disgusting. If you're gonna cheat on someone, don't cheat. Just tell them straight then and there that you don't want to be with them anymore, and then go to that other person that you're seemingly attracted to. That is still better than cheating, okay? Okay, I'm getting too emotional. But flash forward a year and a half later, she direct messages me, she apologizes, and I forgive her. And to this day, we still occasionally say happy birthday to each other, we still talk. It didn't all end up bad. She's still, cause you know, she was my first girlfriend and we did live together. You know, there's still a type of bonding. Will I ever forget what she did? No, I would never ever get back with her. I don't even feel anything for her, but we still can become friends, okay? As long as you knew what you did wrong, as long as you apologize, as long as you're not messing with my life, we can still be friends. So all in all, that ended up pretty well. Now the second cheating story, as you might have known in my previous crazy nurse dating story, is she was a nurse, we met on Tinder, okay? That's why I will never ever date anyone on Tinder, because your sole goal there is to talk to a lot of people to find a potential partner, which means she wasn't only talking to me, okay? At the time we were dating, I wasn't looking for like actual going to be my potential girlfriend yet. I wasn't even ready yet, but we just started dating and things were going off pretty well, but I still didn't consider her deeply to be my girlfriend yet. I just like, I'm really attracted to her, but not to girlfriend level yet. And then there's this time, one day she was just like, do you want to go to my friend's wedding with me? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then we had to go out of the city for a while, so we slept at like an apartment for one night, and we haven't really slept on the same bed together. Nothing happened, don't worry. So I was kind of nervous at the time, so was she, so I couldn't really sleep. Next day, we had to go home from the wedding, so it was a really long drive. She went back to my place, she slept at my place, and what ended up happening was, sorry for that motorbike. What ended up happening was, one thing led to another, we did the deed, and she had a really stressed look on her face after everything happened, and I was like, what's wrong? And she's just like, I'm scared like you're not gonna take responsibility for it because we already did it. And in a way, it was just kind of like holding me responsible for it. So I was just like, and she's just like, because we're not girlfriend, boyfriend, and we already did it, you know. So I was just like, she kind of pressured me into becoming her boyfriend. So I did. So I was like, okay, let's become girlfriend boyfriend then. And okay, fine. So I felt the need to take responsibility, and she started being quite distant. Well, not well. She wasn't quite distant. Sorry, she was actually very we became very like more intimate, more close, and I would see her texting like other people as well. I see another person like in her text, because I would do the side eye and I would see, and they would keep sending her pictures, and she would send like good night stickers and I love you, and I confronted her about it. She's like, it's my cousin. And I was just like, and I believed her a bit, but I also had a little bit of red flags. Now she, like I said, she has an identical twin, and her twin also cheated on her boyfriend at the same time she was cheating on me. And what ended up happening was, there were moments where I would finish work and I'd be like, hey, can I come see you? I finished work early. And she'd like, oh no, like I have a case. Or oh no, like I'm gonna see my mom. And she didn't want to see me. And then there's this time where I actually said, like, I know her work shift, so I went to the hospital and I was just like, I'm here. And she's just like, oh no, her sister said to me, oh sorry, she went to do the insurance with her. Like, she was covering up for her sister. And then I was like passive aggressively saying like, oh yeah, you're probably having a fling or whatever. And then she got so upset. She's like, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Why'd you keep saying that? Like, I love you, all that stuff. And I was like, it was just a joke. It wasn't. I was trying to be passive aggressive. And then she's like, no, don't say stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And then it got to the point where there's this one time, like, I went to her place, we did the deed, and then I took her phone. I'm sorry. I took her phone and I looked at her text messages, and there was this one person she was texting, and at the time, it was in Thai. At the time, I couldn't read Thai yet, and I confronted her about it. And I was like, who's this? Why are you sending such sweet messages or to whatever to someone like this? Because she's like, good night, sweet dreams. She's like, it's one of my relatives. And I believed her. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't believe I believed her at the time. And it was like 50-50. Like, I believed her, but I also didn't believe her. Like, I still had like something going. And then one day I finished work early again, and I said to her, I'm gonna go come see you. And she's like, oh no. And this was like probably the 8th time she denied me. So I said like, look, you're cheating on me with so-and-so, right? And she was completely quiet. And I was like, I know. And she's like, yes, I'm also seeing this other person. So I was just like, we're over. And she's like, but I want both of you. She had the audacity to say, I want both of you. Like, can you both be in my life? And I said, no. And she's just like, okay, I understand. I'm sorry. Well, at least she apologized. And I was just like, yeah, okay, this is unacceptable. But I couldn't, like, there's nothing to say, okay? Cheating means cheating. It's over. So I just said, okay, it's over. I took all her stuff at my place. I gave it to her friend, who's another nurse. I went to the hospital. I just gave it to her friend. I said, give this back to her. And it was over. And then 2 weeks later, she's just like, I miss you. And what I ended up saying was, do you have, like, is something wrong? Do you have a problem? And then 3 weeks later, she's just like, oh, you're so handsome. Like, she DMs me and on my Instagram story, and she's like, you're really handsome. And I was like, I know. And she was like constantly doing this. I don't know what her problem is. She's just probably one of those girls who just talks around, and she was just like she was probably thinking like trying to get me back, or just trying to play with me, you know, until I had my then new girlfriend after her, who was also a nurse. That didn't end up well as well. But the other nurse was a lot prettier. I'm sorry. But the other nurse was a lot prettier than she was. And at the time, it was also kind of revenge too. I was posting pictures of me and the new nurse, and she was texting me, and she was like, oh, like, your girlfriend's a nurse too, blah, blah. I don't know why she kept trying to bother me with my life, but I would just read and not respond at the time, and she would constantly try to text me. Completely ignored her until that very recent story, which I ignored her again, that you saw in my previous video. So if you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one.